Hi, everybody. I'm Donna Norris, Soul Level Intuitive. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm happy you're here. I really want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. It has been a heck of a ride since the last time I talked to y'all. Some of you know I still have a job selling real estate. I don't do that much of it, just when people call and request that I help them. It's usually repeat clients and whatnot. And I had this one couple who unfortunately are getting divorced or have gotten divorced. And we ended up not being able to sell their house on the retail market because of some problems that were going on with the husband. And in the end, we did get the house sold. It was supposed to close this past week on Friday. And I get a call on that morning, or text, sorry, saying, I am unable to take my cats. Everything is out of the house except for the cats. And I'm like, what? And then I said, what am I supposed to do? And he says, I can't take them with me. And the wife had already moved in with her sister with the two kids, and she couldn't have the cats. And so it was a mad scramble, and has been since Friday. And because I'm in Florida, they're in Texas, trying to get this to work, trying to find somebody to first of all, rescue them and get them into a safe place, because the house where they live backs up to a field right by Johnson Space Center. And there's no shade, there's no trees, there's no cover, and they've been nothing but indoor cats since they were 3 weeks old. And this couple rescued them from a barn. So anyway, long story long, I feel emotionally exhausted. We had the one dog already this month who I was able to find a good home for, and that still tore me up emotionally. Just I was a terrible fail foster. And so I had all the feels about all of that come back up that I thought I had dealt with. And, then stuff happens and you realize you haven't, or you get to do it at a deeper level. And so then some other stuff happened with my dogs, and they were laid low, and now they were back. And then this with the cats. It's like, man, I ended up having to cancel my Basics of Animal Communications workshop that had been scheduled for today, because I spent today trying to network these cats to any organization I could find in the greater Houston area. So far with no success, but I still have some calls I'm hoping will come back. But if any of you would like to welcome welcome these two 10-year-old cats that are brother and sister into your heart and home, please reach out. We'll be glad to, I can put you in touch with the temporary foster. And I'm not sure what the vetting process is, but I'm just trying to find a permanent home, because right now they're just in temporary quarters. So anyway, I'm so glad to be here and not have to think about my stuff, but thank you for letting me vent. I have had nothing but in really intense feelings all month long, and I think some of you have been feeling the same. I know in previous lives it has felt like that. And so today I just really wanted to focus on the animals and giving them a voice. These two cats feel comfortable. They really weren't sure what to do with the calm once they got past all the hullabaloo of being caught and rehomed and the loss of their, people and their family. They're now just fine and purring and happy and comfortable. So I know they're in a good, safe, calm environment. So thank God for that. Anyway, I'm going to get right into questions and see how many animal questions I can answer for you guys today, how I can help. The first person is S. Steele. Hi, Donna. I'm thinking about adopting a cat, Hopscotch. Oh, I love that name. But I'm concerned how my senior dog, Mac, will react to it. I'm also concerned with how Hopscotch feels about me adopting him. Thank you. Let's tune in. First, let's tune in to Mac, if that's okay, since he is already your baby, and get some information from him. So Mac comes in, and his energy is really kind of, I would say, laid back. He is not what I would call an assertive diva. Some are, I'm number one, and I want all the attention. He seems like he's pretty laid back, and like you've had other animals stay there before or come to visit, and he's been okay. And when I ask him about how he feels about cats, he's just like, meh, kind of thing. Doesn't really have a strong opinion. Makes me wonder how much exposure he's had to them. He says he's seen them, he's interacted some. Let me know if any of this makes sense for you with him, S. Steele, if you're still in the chat. If not, I'll just keep going and you can listen on the replay. So essentially, I asked him about, taking in a brother cat. And he's like, we'd kind of like to meet him first. And he's showing me scenes of, them just kind of sizing each other up. He doesn't want an animal that's going to come in and hiss at him and bat at him and, initiate a hard time for him. Thank you, Mac. Thank you. So now let me feel into Hopscotch is going to be a little bit tougher because he's not. I work with animals via their connection with you. I go in through that cord and connect with them. So let me see what I can do for Hopscotch. Hopscotch comes across to me as if he's under something. Rather than walking up to me and his energy coming up proud, he's like slinking up and looking out from under a sofa or looking out from under a bed, that kind of energy. And where he's come from or where he is now, it's been loud and fast, like things move fast. So I'm not sure if this makes sense for you with him, but he says what he's looking for is like space that's his, that can be his space. And to have a place like he wants to be able to just walk away when he wants to walk away. So maybe a place, leave a closet door open and give him a cubby in the closet, something like that, where he can go and just have his private time, or give him a crate that can be like his, or, they make those little cat house dome things and different things for cats that might be good for him to have. So he can get into his own space in his own cave. But, Mac makes a really good point. I think if you can take him for an overnight or take him for a visit, if he's the cat's at a shelter, you might be able to do a meet and greet. If the cat's not with a shelter, might be able to take him for an overnight and just see how things go. You may end up, and if you have to keep them separated for that night, that doesn't mean that it's not a match. That just means that cats don't acclimate as fast as dogs do to new environments. And so he may need a little more time. You may want to take him for a weekend to see how he settles down. For example, these cats that I just got into an emergency rehoming thing, they had been with this family since they were 3 weeks old, and they're now 10 years old. And the first night they were hiding, they were hissing, they were trying to scratch at the person. One of them bit the temporary foster. Not a good first impression. But anyway, now last night, the one that bit her came and sat on her lap, and now today is rolling over on his back, like, rub my belly. So everything is really good. And that's in 2 days' time after being with this family for 10 years. So I hope that helps. If you'd like to book a private session, by all means, go to my website and we can, do one, and we can get some more in-depth information from Mac and try to get more in-depth from Hopscotch too. Okay. Thanks very much for the question, S. Steele, and I wish you luck, and thank you for doing your part to adopt a cat. I love all of you guys who adopt from rescue. Next up, Joe Lombardi. Hey, Joe. It's nice to hear from you. See you. Hi, Donna. Can you tell me if Joey, cat in spirit, now has any message for me? And Zoe, I guess the living cat. Does he still visit Zoe? Ah, there it is. Yeah. I just can't seem to get over the loss. Okay, Joe. Let me tune into Joey. So Joey flies in, kind of like Superman, like that, like a superhero, and lands like he's standing up on his two hind feet. It's hilarious. I don't know if he was a cut up in life, but he's a cut up in spirit for sure. And he's showing me like looking out, like he's a lookout. And he's also showing me the bouncing ball thing. Like a lot of times when we see orbs, and they kind of look like a bumblebee, in some kind of pattern, or sometimes they'll be shooting like this. But he's showing like almost like a bouncing as he comes in to check on Zoe. So what I ask him if he has a message for you, he says you did everything you could have done. That this was his time. And I know we have had a private session, Joe, and I can't remember the details because it's channeling. I just don't remember. They're talking through me, and he's saying you've done all you could have. You did all you could have done, and he feels like it was just this fountain of love that he had a really good love filled life. He's got like he's showing me like arms around you, arms around Zoe. You guys were like a little pack. So what he's saying is like his heart goes out to your heart. His heart is still connected to your heart. And in those moments when you're talking to him, he says you're talking to him. Um, he hears you, and he sends. There's still love in that energetic connection. So I hope you can receive that. He's sending you love. He's sending you love in those moments. Oh. He wants you to remember for every sad, you know, try to think of some good times. Remember the smiles, remember the laughter, remember the snuggles, remember all the fun things about your time together, the characteristics that you liked about him, the times that he got on your nerves, just all of those little things that make up life with our beloved, you know, beings, other beings. I lump people and animals into the same. They're just other beings that we have relation with. So he wants you to remember who he was and how he is now so free and waiting for you and still able to connect with you. I'm feeling like brushing against my leg. Like I don't know if he ever like came up to you and like this is your leg, like brushed up against your leg like that, just to kind of snuggle up. But I'm feeling like you may feel that wisp of a. Did I feel that? Yes, you felt that. So he's trying to give you signs. I hope you can, maybe ask him for signs, and then you can do muscle testing to see if you think you see a sign to see if it really was a sign. You can also ask him for another sign and be specific about the kind of sign you would like to see. And that's a good way to know if they come through, and then you're not sure. Well, then you ask for another sign that's something a little more specific. And then maybe play a song on the radio, or, maybe see a bird or something, just something that they can manipulate, because they can manipulate energy. They're not all animals in spirit are able to like move a pencil across the floor or something like that. But, they can make lights flicker. They can influence birds and fireflies and things like that. So there are things that they can do. And if you'd like to learn more about signs, shoot me a text and I'll be glad to send you some more signs. But I hope that helps. I hope you remember that you're still in relationship with Joey. He wants you to remember that it's not forever, and that there's an aspect of your soul. Not all of our soul comes into body when we come into body. And so that core aspect of your soul that made the soul contract with him to begin with is still in the other realm with him. And so it's like he knows he hasn't lost you. He knows that you're still connected. So it's, be good to remember that part of you is with him and part of him is always with you. There's that part of him that will live forever in your heart until your souls are reunited when it's your time to go. So I do hope that helps. And anyway, thank you. Thank you for the question. I'm really sorry for your loss. I hope sometime soon it shifts into those memories bringing you comfort as opposed to sadness. Thank you, Joe. Kay Muldoon. Hi, Kay. Hi, Donna. My cat Savannah had 4 beautiful kittens last week, June 12th. Sadly, none of the kittens survived due to anemia caused by fleas. I feel so guilty, and I just hope Savannah doesn't blame me. Hang on, there's a follow-up. I'm now treating the house for fleas. I just hope Savannah forgives me, as I feel it's all my fault. Well, let's tune into Savannah. As Savannah comes in, she's not 100%. She's not back to 100% at all. She is still trying to regain her strength, but she doesn't hold a blame. This was an experience that she was able to have, and she did her best. You were doing the best that you knew at the time, according to her. So there's no blame. There should be no shame. There should be, in her opinion, no guilt. You're now that you know better, you're going to do better. And there is, I feel like some kind of food that's iron rich. And sometimes what you can do is give them organ meat. Give them something like with liver flavored food. It will give her a lot of iron. I don't know if the vet has her on any kind of prescription cat food or whatnot, but you can actually take chicken liver and boil it and chop it up into bits or zhuzh it in the food processor. I have one of those little things that like they use for mixed drinks, or if you go to the old soda fountain, you know how you put the malt thing up in the one spinner and it makes a malt. It's a handheld one of those, and I don't know its real name. I call it a zhuzher. And I just zhuzh, I boil the liver and then I zhuzh it, and then I use it as a topper on my animals' food because I was having problems with anemia in my animals. And we live in a hot environment, and I'm not really sure if there are any other causes for that, or maybe they're just that way. One is really young, one was really old. But it works for them. It works really well for us. It might be something that you'd want to consider giving your cat. Check with your vet and then see if you can give your cat a liver supplement just to kind of help get her strength back and get her ready so that if you want to allow her to have kittens again, she'll be strong enough to have healthy cats. And then you'll have the same joyful experience of trying to place cats that all the rest of us have who have had rescues or kittens or puppies. either or and. So please, I hope you know that she's not holding anything down against you or holding this as if it's your fault. It's just an experience. That's how we learn. That's how our souls evolve. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being open and transparent with that. Um, just know that we're here for you. We all, when we know better, we do better. Right, y'all? So thank you. Kathleen Moore says, "Hi, Donna. Truly hope your life is improving. How bless you. I talked to her today about the class. And well, anyway, thank you, Kathleen, for your understanding. And I'll see you next Sunday, I hope. We are going to have the class next Sunday. I have adopted a 2-year-old Chihuahua. Ooh, yay, 3 weeks in my care. What does he need from me to improve his life with me?" I was just going to ask, do I have a name? His name is Jay. Okay, let's check on Jay. Love Chihuahuas. So as Jay comes in, he comes in like he's just looking all around. He's like super curious. And he's sniffing out. He's just sniffing at everything. He's sniffing at shoes. He's sniffing at furniture. He's sniffing at everything. And it's almost like it feels to me like he's looking for something. So I don't know if he has toys or if he has a toy that maybe has a smell, or if you have like one of those Kong toys or a toy that you can stuff with a treat for him to keep him occupied. That may really help stimulate. He loves his sense of smell. But he has a playful energy and a real perky energy. So I feel like he's showing me, he would love to interact more with you. So I don't know if you have games that you can play, or a ball that you can bounce, or string that you can wiggle across the floor, whatever it is that he enjoys doing. I think that would be fun. Maybe a game of hide and seek with treats. That'd be fun. Yeah, you can. If you haven't ever taught a dog how to play hide and seek, that's hilarious. So you have to show it to them first, and then cover it up, and make them root down for it, and then let them have it, and then and then do it again. Do that a few times, and the next thing you know, they're turning over all your cushions and throw pillows looking for treats. But it's fun, and they enjoy it. So anyway, I hope that helps. And let me just see if there's anything else. No, when I ask him how he feels about his food, he's rubbing his tummy like he likes his food. So that's a good thing. He would like to go. He'd like to feel the wind in his face. So I don't know if you're able to take him for a car ride where he can feel the wind in his face, or maybe take him out for a walk where he can feel the wind in his face. I know that Chihuahuas are susceptible to collapsed trachea, and this is just me talking. This is not him. But so I always recommend putting them in a harness, and maybe if they have a collar, it's just for decorative, but not to be walked on a leash with a collar. It's just too easy to crush their trachea. So anyway, thank you, Kathleen, and thank you for adopting. Bless you. Can't wait to hear more about Jay. Venus says, oh, thank you, Venus. Post questions in all caps. Hi, thank you for that. Hey, Lois Teresa. Gosh, Lois Teresa's on countdown. I hope you and Gracie are getting ready for your trip and everything's going smoothly. Sherry Neidig. Hi. Yeah, it is crazy about those cats. I mean, one other time I had to pay $800 to spay 4 cats that had been, the previous tenants had abandoned their cat, and I didn't know about it in this rent house, and they had just turned the cat out. And so she went under the shed, the storage shed in the backyard, and had her kittens out there. And so we captured the kittens, and I paid $800 to spay and neuter 4 cats. And the vet said that they were pretty much feral at that point by the time I saw them and caught them. And the best I could do was just return them back to the neighborhood where they already knew the neighborhood and knew the other cats in the neighborhood. So anyway, that was not fun either. Painful and expensive. Laura says hi. Hi, Laura. Hi, Carrie Ann Medina. Hey, Wiki. I live in a condo and my pup Nico barks and throws himself against the door if I leave him, even for just a few minutes. I've tried to talk to him. Can you let him know that I'll come back? Yeah, let me pull in, Nico. He is, when Nico comes in, he is still in kind of a state of like hypervigilance, like he's on alert all the time. And he notices every noise. One of the things you can do to try to help calm him is, I've talked about this a couple of other times, and I want to mention it again. It's really, really good for dogs. Try playing some sound therapy on the TV. Or you can turn your phone on and turn up the volume just so that he can hear it. But I like to cast it to my television, and you can put on Merlin's Realms. I'm going to put this in the comments. I should get him to give me a kickback for as many times as I recommend people pay him. He's on YouTube, but he has the best. My dogs love his videos. He has different frequencies for different things, but he's got one for separation anxiety. He's got one for just regular old anxiety. He's got one for calm. He's got one for sleeping, which really is effective, I'll tell you. And it may take him a little bit to kind of get used to it, but the white noise also, the noise of the tones also, aside from calming them, is a little bit of a distraction from the constant vigilance and this constant need that Nico feels to be your protector. It's great that he knows his soul contract with you is to be your protector, but it's good also for him to see that you're the leader of the pack and you're going to protect him and you are going to come back. And so I know you say you talk to him, but animals think in pictures. So if there's a way for you, I don't know if you're a visual person, if you can visualize yourself walking back in the door and greeting him and loving on him and, send him that image, visualize that before you leave. I'll be back. I'll be back before supper, or I'll be back. It'll be dark when I get back, but I'll be back tonight, that kind of thing. And just keep doing that and reinforcing that with your thoughts, with your visual thoughts, sending him those visuals. That really will have some impact. I don't know how long he's been doing this. So for as long as he's been doing it, it's going to take a little bit longer to undo it. But it will work. It will work. And one of the other things you can do to help calm them when you do return, or even before you leave, to try to get him in a state of calm. Not sure how big he is, but if you can reach up under there, hang on, I'm going to grab a dog and do a demo. Come here, buddy. Hopefully he'll cooperate. But put your hands up here, like under where their front legs join their body. This is Bogey, by the way. And just hold your hands there and maybe do a slight massage. The bigger the dog, the easier this is, right? This, you can also, hold on, Bogey Ogie. Oops. Sorry, buddy. You can also put your hand on their heart. This is where their heart is. And this is your sending hand. You can use your other hand for their receiving hand, okay? So put your hand on your heart and put your other hand on their heart and send them love. It's very calming. It's very reassuring. And you can do that and try to maybe get in the habit of doing that and see if that doesn't help him to feel more secure and to feel more calm. It may just be, I don't know what kind of dog he is or what's in his DNA, but it could be in his DNA to be like that. And it's just going to take some conditioning from you. And thank you so much for caring enough about him to want to help him. I hope that does help, and I do hope it does work. But there are lots of channels on YouTube, and he may respond better to a channel other than Merlin's Realms. So I just want you to give that a try, and also give that little massage under the front legs a try, and also the hand to heart to heart, from your heart to their heart. Okay, it's really awesome. Feels good for both of you. Thank you for the question. Lori Christine, could I please get a message from my cat Nathan in spirit? Does he love and miss me as much as I love and miss him? Gosh, I know that feeling. When will he reincarnate to come back to me? Our family is not the same now. Let's talk to Nathan. Nathan is coming in feeling really strong, really fit, like really like bounce in his step. So I don't know if he was not feeling well before he passed. Maybe that's just how he is or how he was. But he's still got this pep in his step. And he says, while he misses being there in the physical with you guys, that's something that he can still participate in by pop-ins, with the pop-ins and the visits. And he does still do that. And he's mentioning something about a ball. I don't know if there's like a little, it looks like a ball, like, bigger than a marble, but smaller than a golf ball. Cute. But the love is there. It's I think I talked about this earlier with a deceased animal at the beginning of this show. The cord of love and the energy of love is still there between you. Just because he's in spirit doesn't mean that he's not still connected to you. And so if you can reminisce, talk to him, reminisce about those good times, reminisce about, all the good things, the playtime, the snuggles, the watching him watch the birds, the watching him play, whatever it was, that every time you looked at him, you just had that aw moment. You know what I mean? Let him know how much you still think of him and you still love him, and try to find some joy in that, because he's talking about how his legacy is that he wanted to open your heart up so that you would have more space and more love to give to everybody. This was his job. This was his soul contract, to open your heart and make space in there to love more others besides just him. Love others more, and that's part of your evolution. So I hope that helps, Lori Christine. And yeah, he does still love you. In terms of, as I said, reincarnate, he made this soul contract to come to you in this lifetime. And he's with you. He's with the core of your soul in the other realm, in spirit realm. And so he feels like he's still with you. And he's still with your human side through this energetic cord that still exists. So he doesn't feel like there's a going and a coming back. I get that a lot. Some people, and I know there are some psychics out there who believe in animal communicators who say they've talked to animals that have come back. That really has not been my experience in the 10 or so years I've been doing this. And what they tell me is that they will arrange the next cat or the next animal to be adopted into the family, and then they will show them the ropes, because animals communicate in energy all the time. So it's easy for them to talk to animals who are in spirit and to communicate back and forth. And so they show them the ropes. They show them the things that they know will get to you, right? That the things that are going to make you go, oh my God, that's just what Nathan did, that kind of thing. But Nathan will always be Nathan, the Nathan. So anyway, I hope that helps. Thank you for the question. Joe says, thank you for being part of that rescue. Yeah. Oh, you spin it and man, we should have coffee. Just talk, because rescue mode is hard, y'all. And you get these people that, and I know that these people are saints for taking on as many animals as they do, but they can be pretty hard in the way that they communicate, and pretty abrupt, and it's I don't know how they do it, but it's difficult to try to communicate with them. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Joe. Laura says, I've been thinking about my childhood pet cat, Pepper, lately. I'm wondering if she's around me or has any messages to share with me. Gosh, I don't know if that's a picture of her, Laura, but that is a cute kitty. That looks a lot like one of the cats that just got rehomed in my real estate situation. One of them was Orange Tabby, and the other one looked like a Maine Coon. Believe it or not, they're brother and sister from the same litter. But yeah, apparently that mama cat got around and had a couple of boyfriends before she had her kittens. Anyway, let's see what we can do and talk to Pepper. Pepper has been chasing crickets. Pepper has been chasing and batting at insects. Pepper has been having a great time running around and playing in spirit. But it's Pepper's saying it's sort of like, how the angels do when we call on them. Like if we call on Archangel Michael, an aspect of Archangel Michael comes to us to help us. And as many people as there are in the world can ask for Archangel Michael, and he'll be able to respond to all of us, because remember, time is different, number one, in that realm. And number two, they can do that. They can send us aspects of their soul self. They're so much bigger in soul than we are. And this is sort of like, he says, it's sort of like how the 8 can do too. So all you have to do is think of him, and part of him comes right into your heart, just like always. Oh, that's so sweet. So yeah, I hope Pepper's definitely around you. All you have to do is think of them and call them to you. And again, like I mentioned before, just start reminiscing. Remember that time you knocked that glass of water over and you just watched me, and then you went whoop and knocked it off just to see me clean it up, stories like that. Just let them know that you do still remember, and you do still care about them, and you still love them, because that really is their big legacy. The animals are coming here to teach us how to be more unconditional in our loving. That's the whole purpose of human evolution, period. But they're here to give us, an advanced intensive course. So, yeah, sounds like Pepper got you off to a good start in life, caring about animals. So thank you, Laura. Venus says, can you check in with my girl, Roxy? How is she feeling? What does she need from me? Thanks, Donna. Man, Roxy's flowing in like a cool drink of water. Like, man. She really does feel like, I don't know if you've got the air conditioner on her, if she has a fan that's on her, but she just feels very chill. And she's showing me like smooth water. She's also showing me, like, when I ask her if there's anything that she needs from you, like being by your side, like being by you and spending time with you would be the only other thing that she would want. So it sounds like she's got, she's pretty happy. So thank you. Thank you, Venus. Thank you for the question. Angela C. Hi, Angela. Says, I'm cat sitting my neighbors, Lori and Sue's cat, Mao. Rhymes with pow pow. Mao. Okay, congratulations. It's so much fun because it usually takes a day or two for them to kind of get used to you when you're cat sitting. And then the next thing you know, you have this whole relationship, this whole new relationship with this animal. Mal says she's going to remember you. I don't know if you've babysat for her before, but yeah, she's enjoying your relationship. What are you doing with her food? I think you're giving her more than they usually do or something, but she's totally happy with it. Congratulations. Sherry Neidig says, I was wondering if there's a possibility of another pup in the next 6 months for me. Thank you. Ooh. I'm going to pull a card on that. There could be one tomorrow. But the thing is, are you ready? You know what I mean? Or is that something that you're prepared for? Glad I have my cards handy. I have literally a bucket of so many decks at my feet of card decks. And I pared them down before I moved to this house because I had like 100. Oh, truth be told. And look at the imagery that comes with truth be told. All those little red butterflies, heart-shaped butterflies, flying in through the window. And that harbinger of change, the flag at the top. And the owl. This is in the owl's heart. The owl has the ability, owl spirit, to see through to the heart of a problem, to look beyond the surface. So, not necessarily a problem, but the issue. Okay, so observing and asking yourself, are you ready for the commitment and the new relationship? Because you see that he's standing on a mask on the crown of the head. And these heart-shaped butterflies are all flying right into his heart or coming out of his heart. So, I think it could be either way, you extending your heart or you receiving the unconditional love of a new pup. And as I look to your guides, I'm seeing like a timeline that is, it's not looking like tomorrow, but it's not looking like, 6 months down the road either. To me, it feels like I'm feeling like coolness in the air. I can't remember if you live in Canada or somewhere where it's cool all the time, but there's coolness in the air. Okay. Thank you, Sherry. I hope that helps. Pure Joy LN, how are you? God, I just love that puppy in your profile. Hi, Donna. My dog Izzy is at the pet sitters tonight for one night. Would love to know what she's thinking. Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure if you told her that you would be back tomorrow, but there is a curled up on what looks like a throw blanket or some kind of fuzzy, um, maybe a dog bed, but it looks more like a blanket because it looks like it's got ripples in it, like they can nest. But anyway, let's see. Where's my mom? But she's calm. And she comes when called, and her tail is wagging. So I feel like, and there feels like there's the energy of another dog there. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm not getting a whole lot in the feedback, or maybe I'm just not able to see the feedback yet. I'll get better at this scrolling the chat thing, but let me know if that makes sense. But she is kind of wondering where you are. Oh gosh, yeah. See, you just scroll down and there's a whole bunch. South Carolina, and it's hot now. Sherry says, gotcha. Oh, hey, Kevin Lewis is here. Hey, Kevin. Nice to see you. Awesome, medium. Okay. Man, there's a lot here. Let me get back. So thank you for the question, Pure Joy LN. Angela says, he is a semi-feral rescue. Can you let him know I just want to be his friend and take care of him? I think this is the one that feels like he's got it pretty good with the food situation. And he's going to remember you. Yes. Hold on. Let me go back and see. It's already gone. Mal. Oh, yeah, Mal. Got it. Well, Mal is pretty independent and can get kind of stiff, like stiffen their back and not really lean into that loving that you want to give them. So it may take a little time to crack that facade and get down to the soft, mushy part of Mal. But you'll do it. I think you'll do it. Thank you, Angela. Hi, Donna. Can you see if my baby Trouble wants to communicate with me? Sure, I'll give that a try. Don't know if Trouble is a dog or a cat or a horse, but let's see what happens. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. There you go. So as Trouble rolls in, I'm seeing like coming in almost like through a window into like a dream. And that if you are doing dream travel, like astral travel, or if you're having dreams of flying, Trouble is with you in that. Like you guys are explorers together. Wow, seeing the sights and communicating. Nice. I hope that makes sense for you, Dottie. Pretty cool. Polly says, hi, any message from my cat Luca? Let's see if we get. Luca's coming in very opinionated. Almost like, and I'll tell you another thing kind of energy. But there is something about wanting like an open window, feeling a breeze, wanting something like that, wanting to hear more, see more of the outdoors. So that is your message from Trouble. Sorry, Luca. Clear my field. Miss Juliana, oh my gosh, it's so good to hear from you. What does Tebow have to tell me at this time, please? He is a male Pomeranian. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you, Miss Juliana. So Tebow is coming in. Tebow, he's looking like he's showing me he wants this food with a gravy, and it almost looks like little bitty pieces of steak or beef because it's like a dark brown gravy. I don't know if this makes sense, but it's a soft food, but it's got a good amount of gravy. He loves it. He's also talking about a pillow, a snuggle pillow. So I don't know what that means. If maybe you got him a new bed, or if he sleeps with you and he wants his own pillow, but he is talking about a snuggle pillow. So thank you for that. Cute. I feel like he's got um, on the end of his fringe like a dark color on the end of his fringe, like he's got brown with dark tips. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. I don't normally get all that kind of detail, but that's pretty cool. Thank you, Miss Juliana. So, Laurie Sue Cragen Clamped, nice to meet you. I'm asking if you might be able to tap into my dog, Dulcinea, simply to let me know if there is anything I'm not picking up on that she needs me to know. Many thanks. Sure, let's give that a try. Dulcinea comes in with a bigger energy, not she's not a powder puff girl. She is her own woman. And she likes to like put her paw up and tell you what's what when she's trying to make a point. She is showing me that, she can come and get you and like come and get your attention and then turn to walk away like I need to show you something, or come over here, I want to get fed, or trying to get you up. Um, but when you're busy, you're busy. If you're like, she's telling me I'm trying to train her. She's trying to get you to get up and do what she wants you to do when she wants you to do it. So, and probably better that you're setting a boundary. And if you're busy doing something, finish what you're doing first before you go and see what it is that she wants. But she feels like, she is reaching out to do her part in the communication. And she feels like you do tune into her. You guys have this, eye lock kind of a relationship where you really do look into each other's eyes, and there's a lot of trust there from her for you. So, and I'm sure you feel that, and so you're appreciative of that and that knowledge. But she will keep doing what she needs to do to like make her point. So, and to get your attention. She's trying to tell me too that sometimes you'll get a little spun up and maybe worried about something that's coming up, or how are you ever going to get it all done today? And, that kind of squirrel cage in your brain kind of thinking. And she will come and like get in your face to bring you back to this present moment, to the right now, this minute. You're okay. And I love you. So she's a really good cheerleader for you. I hope that makes sense, Laurie. Vivian says, hi, hello to you too. Hi, Miley, hello to you. Miley, you have a dog named Miley? Do you have any messages from my dog? Miley. Okay, we'll give it a shot. I've got an empty, my energetic office is empty. So let me take a pause, Miley, and then if you can put the name of your dog, if it is Miley, just reinforce that and let me know if Miley is living or deceased, and I'll try again. Oh, good, Joe. Thank you for the feedback. D. Payne, this is an interesting question. Needing to decide if I can develop a loving relationship with my new cats. Their communication is biting, and I am not a cat, so ouch. my my guides indicate they are meant to be in my life. And thoughts? Yeah, I'm with you without. Um, let's see what we can do here. So one of them has, just kind of like that fluff their fur out, like, don't mess with me, kind of back off buckwheat personality. And it's not that they don't want attention, but this particular cat especially wants to be able to call the shots when they will come to you when they want attention. And a verbal acknowledgement is okay. So you can just sort of like bend down eye to eye and say, I see you. Thank you. And don't get close enough to get your nose bitten, but not necessarily the petting until they come up and rub against you to initiate the petting. One of them is talking to you about being wow, tossed through the air as a kitten. That'll put you off on people. That's that's really cool. I'm not saying that you did this. This is before your time. Might have fallen. Maybe they fell from a tree, but it was really traumatizing. It's flying through the air thing. So just suggesting patience, playing with things like a string wiggling across the floor, or a feather, or maybe a laser pointer, because there's absolutely no touching involved in that. But keep them stimulated and keep them engaged with you, so that they could come to you for play, and you can talk with them and develop a relationship with them that's interactive in that way. Yeah, these are independent kids. Feels like not kitten energy, like not a young adult cat, I guess I should say. I hope that makes sense, T-Pain. Thank you. K Muldoon says, I will try that, the chicken liver. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hope you do. I hope it works as well for you as it does for me. Immersion blender. Thank you, Francis. It's not a zhuzher. It's an immersion blender. Appreciate that. And they're great. Yes, they are. They are good for everything. Kay says plans to have her spayed when she's got her strength back. Oh, okay. And then you could spoil her. Yeah. She'll really appreciate it. Um, yeah, that'll be good. Venus is saying, hi, Kay. And she said, I had never planned to let her have kittens. I just didn't get her spayed in time and it happened. Yeah, that does. That does sometimes. Boy, I wish I had one of my moderators on here. Good gravy. I see a couple of questions that are more psychic oriented, and tonight I just want to focus on the animals. Golly, we're almost out of time. Holy smokes. S. Steele says, I'll show everybody. Mac has interacted some with the cats, some with cats, but very little. I wish there was a neutral place I could take Mac and Hopscotch to meet. Yeah, I do too. That would be great. Not on his turf and not on neutral turf, so that they could get to know each other first. That's always the best. But if not, you can start with a meet and greet. And when you bring that, you probably already know this if you've had cats before, but the cat can have their own space, like maybe in the utility room or a bedroom where that's their safe space until they get the lay of the land with the smell and the energy of the house and everything before the cat meets Mac, just so that the cat feels not so off balance when it's thrown into a situation with meeting another animal. Okay. Help the cat integrate just a little bit with the house first and with you first and your energy. I hope that helps. Less than 4 weeks to go, Lois says. Oh my gosh. I am holding space for you guys. David H., hi. So good to see you. Tomorrow also, yes, tomorrow night I'm going to be on Susan Lynn's channel, not the political channel, the spiritual side channel. So that'll be 7 o'clock Eastern if you guys want to come and hang out with me and Susan. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't been on her show in a little bit, so it'll be fun. Oh, and then this Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern, I believe, I'm going to be on Terry Renner Holding Your Space, talking with her live. So I'll be there as well. Look forward to seeing more of y'all this week. And hopefully I'll have good news. Like I said, if any of y'all know anybody, especially in Houston, that would like a couple of cats, these cats are really sweet and very lovable. They need a home. They need somebody to take care of them. Cats live to be over 20 years old, so they've still got a lot of good years, playful years left. Lori Christine says, thank you, Donna, for helping so many cats and dogs. Sometimes I don't go out looking for it, but it finds me anyway. It's just the way it is. Thank you all for what y'all do and for all your big hearts and your love and your generosity and your kindness. Wiki says, yes, he is so curious, and yes, looking at everything. Cool. Kay sending you, S. Steele, good vibes for hopscotch. Me too. Oh, he saw it. Wiki says he's part Bichon, part Shih Tzu. Sweet. Okay, well, it's a little after 9. I just want to make sure there's nothing else in here that's an emergency. A lot of y'all know Kevin. That's awesome. He's a terrific medium. Laura says that sounds like Pepper. She used to chase crickets here on Earth too. Oh, that made me smile. Oh, good. That's good. I'm so glad. Venus says she has her own fan, likes laying in front of it. LOL. Okay, thanks. Yeah, she's chilling. That's great. Lori Christine, I was telling Kay about what she feeds her cats. So glad when other people get to stop in. It's like an honor. Somebody as big as Kevin stops in. Pretty cool. Lori Christine says, you are so right about Nathan. He loved playing with balls. He used to bounce ping pong balls to him and he hit the back or catch them. Wow. That's an awesome memory. That's great. And Polly says, yes. He loves spending time on the balcony. Can stay for hours. Oh, you guys are so awesome. Oh, Dulcinea passed. Oh, she's here. Sorry, I keep forgetting to share this with y'all. Talk to her every day. She's my screensaver. Yes, she actually talked. She is always her own individual self. She is my heart still. I can appreciate that. I have a dog that's been gone now since 2018. Still my heart. Still with me. That special place, just, it's always theirs, and it's reciprocal, your place in their heart is equally big and equally treasured. So anyway, Mikey, Miley's dog is Mikey and deceased. Boy, if you could tune in tomorrow night, I apologize, but I do have a message from one of the rescue people that I'm going to have to end this and see if I can get these cats into a permanent home. But I would love to see you, Miley, and find out about Mikey. Or nope, now she's saying Miley and deceased. So the dog's name is Miley. Anyway, let's try again tomorrow if we're going to take, I don't know for sure, but hopefully we'll take questions on Susan's channel tomorrow. We'll see. I missed you, Vivian. I'm so sorry. Let's try again tomorrow night or perhaps on Thursday with Terry. Dulcinea was a schnauzer mix. Small in size, gigantic in personality. Yeah, never met a stranger. Aw. Thanks for telling us more about her. Thank all of you for all this love. Look at all these animal relationships. I just love it. Thank you all for being who you are. Thank you for being here with me. And I look forward to seeing you hopefully tomorrow on Susan's channel or Thursday on Terry's channel, and definitely next time on my channel. So I'll just say bye for now. Love you guys. Have a good night.